Was he jealous of you?
He's not gonna like this, but yes.
One thing that we knew about Bobby Brown was it was really hard when someone else was getting attention. Really hard. Now all of a sudden, he's married to the biggest star in the pop universe.
The Bodyguard soundtrack topped every chart and would go on to become an international phenomenon, selling over 45 million albums and winning nearly every award.
She was the superstar, and he had a couple of hits, so kind of equal, close enough. And then The Bodyguard hit.
The multi-man selling hit, I Will Always Love You. Whitney Houston! R&B single of 1993 goes to a performer who is also Billboard's #1 R&B single artist and also had the #1 R&B album this year. That's right. Who that might be, y'all? Miss Whitney Houston.
When did it start to go wrong? After The Bodyguard?
After? Well, that was early.
And she shot up into the stratosphere, and he knew instinctively he would never get there.
The winner is
Whitney
Houston.
I think that kind of solidified her forever.
Yet she often seemed to be dimming her star for him.
I think it's very special, and I thought this would be a very special night for my husband.
Mama trip. He's not. Come on, man. You at my birthday party, calling my mama trip.
Okay.
I think somewhere inside, something happens to a man when a woman has that much control or has that much fame.
Yeah.
Let's go, Lord. Bobby was jealous, and he could not recognize that emotion. He was always now the +1. For him, in a black man's mind, it was tearing him up.
You'll know better. But since the Grammy performance, you're starting off with It's Not Right, But It's Okay. And it's doing that dance. Then you go into the ballad. For the ending, will it work better as the full ballad, or will it work better for the last minute ending? If you could think about it, you'll see.
Go back and sing.
I go into fast, it goes fast.
It's about a minute of the fast after 3 minutes. So the question, I mean,
It starts fast,
we just did it for radio.
But we can change it in
He's got to do it, pal. But then for the last minute, to really go, you'll take that with you.
Yeah, so you can hit pick up when you talk about the pick up at. Okay. You do the whole ballad as is normal, and then pick it up.
Yeah, I got that one in.
So pick up at the end.
Let her listen. You listen. Here's the lyrics.
No, he did this the other night.
He heard it?
She wanted to keep the marriage, and eventually she stepped down to lift him up.
And then did you try to overcompensate? I tried to play down all the time. Yeah, I did. I tried to play, I'm Mrs. Brown, everybody. Don't call me Miss Houston, I'm Mrs. Brown.
I just ask you real quick, Miss Houston.
Mrs. Brown, man.
Mrs. Houston Brown.
Yes, darling.
Good morning, Miss Houston. How are you?
Mrs. Brown.
Mrs. Brown.
How are you?
By the mid-90s, Whitney seemed on the surface to be holding it together. Bobby, however, was definitely on the slide. With his career in terminal decline, he was quickly becoming Mr. Whitney Houston, and something of an embarrassment.
So put that motherfucking camera on me.
That's right.
Hi, man. Let us do this ourselves. Check it out, yo.
You just talk.
Matt, just talk. Me, owning a record company is just, that's just a part of what I do, you know what I'm saying?
How long is
There's a lot of things involved with, I'm feeling real good. It's my birthday. You know what I'm saying?
He can cry if he wants to.
Okay. It's February. It's Black History Month.
Yeah. Out of every 2 years, 1 year, Black History Year.
All right.
Boom. Where do you think the kids are getting their Black History now? Did you get it in school?
No, I didn't get it in.
Sorry, sweetheart. Oh, you take
Did you get Black History in school?
No.
Where did you get it?
I did not get it in my school. I was taught it by my parents and my grandmother. And people who really knew about Black history.
I'm the madman. What are you saying?
Where did you get your Black History, Bobby?
Initially, I named her movie company Houston Productions. She's with biggest stars in Hollywood. And a few months in, she said, we need to change the name to Brown House.
Did you start to lose yourself in that? Because you're now trying to
please.
Yeah, trying to please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And trying to not be so big.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Yeah. And that's where it started to go wrong.
Yeah.
Because you started to dim your own light.
Yep. Sure did.
In her acceptance speech for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance for It's Not Right, But It's Okay, Whit walked to the onstage podium and addressed her mother. You forgot to give me my cards. I'll have to wing it.
Whitney Houston!
I suppose that in that moment she gazed at her husband in the audience, and even in all her own glory, she felt the need to make him shine. She still needed to prove to the world that their love was real. And so from the stage, in her moment, she proclaimed, "Honey, this one's for you, the original R&B king."
And honey, this one's for you, the original R&B king. I love you. This for y'all. Baby Chris, I love you, baby.
I stood backstage next to the show's producer, both of us looking at the monitor. As he turned to walk away, his eyes met mine, and he placed his hand on my shoulder.
Brown, the King of R&B, is one more thing to pile on to a long list of weird and inexplicable public behavior. Whitney Houston, with the family that she was raised in, knows what the real kings of R&B are about.
Marvin Gaye is clearly rolling in his grave. To hear that Bobby Brown, is he the prerogative guy? Yeah, same guy? Give me a break.
I think that would come as a big surprise to people like Al Green or James Brown, who really deserve the title, not Bobby Brown.
On that weekend's Saturday Night Live, during the Weekend Update, Tina Fey poked fun at Whitney for not remembering the names of the real kings of R&B. She went on to say that Whitney and Bobby were performing at the Aladdin Casino in Las Vegas.
At the Aladdin Casino in Las Vegas. Tickets are $150, $200 if Whitney and Bobby actually show up.